A train wreck to spin fire. The NFT analyzer. Diving deep into projects. He's the crypto energizer. From mint coins to tokens. He's got all the intel. Web3 is a tree to show you where to excel. He's got the insights like a digital magician, unveiling secrets of the blockchain with precision. Wild stories from the web, he's always in the know. Crypto community, vibing where the treasures flow.
Good morning, fam. Mega GMs. Tuesday, August 26th. Cats, dude, you said it. You and me both. I mean, the whole space at this point. The biggest happening, definitely of today, but like one of the biggest things happening this week, or, you know, of Genesis 2.0. It's not Genesis launch, but, you know, well, let's call it Season 3. It is one of our biggest moments of virtual Season 3 coming up here right now. Guys, reason being is, like, I don't think everybody here is thrilled, like super, super happy with how Genesis stuff is going right now. Still really early, like really early. But, you know, we thought that we're going to have a prototype meta and still think that. Actually would probably be betting on that right now, and there's ways to bet on that right now. And so flagship dropping today. Dude, it just might be the biggest prototype launch we've had, period. We'll see. It's a big one. A lot of people paying attention to it. They're live on a Spaces right now, or I don't know. Do they just wrap up, Cats? Those guys are live. You know, we're live on a Spaces here, getting ready for TGE, which happens at any moment, right? You guys got to do me a favor during the stream this morning. Like, keep your eyes on prototype, and let us know if you see FYI go live. It's not going to be announced. It's just going to show up, and they're going to snipe it, right? They're going to buy up tokens so they, you know, the team can control that supply. And game on. And GG's to some of you guys who got in on a pre-sale. They just finished. Okay. Yeah, keep an eye out, man. Probably any moment we're going to start seeing maybe the FYI. I love that name. FYI TGE happen here. All right, let me kick off Spaces here. As you guys know, we're live on Abstract, on X, on YouTube, and but also now the the Twitter Spaces, because I like using Lurky and I like getting the transcription here, and you know. Yeah, that's really tricky, Cats. There's a lot of fake FYI launches. In fact, I want to go peek over at prototype. And, dude, I'm excited for today. I think today's our only day. I tweeted this morning, but I think today's our only day with nobody coming on this show. Fingers crossed, especially for Thursday, though. You know what I've kind of teased for Thursday. I can't announce it because I need to have that one more. Like, we good? We're good. We're definitely doing this. But Thursday might be one of our coolest things. Okay, yeah. This is what's tricky with prototype launches is you open the door for scammers here. It's, you know, it is what it is. Because flagship is going to launch today and it's not going to be announced like, okay, it will get announced when it's live, when the real one's live. They'll tweet it out. But until then, just people are going to go and drop fake flagship FYI tokens. And some people are going to get wrecked on these. And that's the game. Don't buy this stuff. You only buy when you see flagship tweet the CA. That's it. But it's fun to watch. I'll say that. Same with this too. Finwiz, by the way, that's one we're going to talk about a little today. Watching for that as well. Although they might be, no, they were on the Genesis board. I think they've switched over to prototype. It's really interesting, dude. I really like this space. Yeah, guys, all those that you see are fake. Yeah. Yep. Be super careful. We're only going to know when they tweet it out. Or if you're like looking real closely, if you see one with like really funny volume or like big volume, that's probably theirs. Probably. Nice, Mufasa. I feel you. Mufasa not getting in, but they're legit. If I were more liquid, I would be getting in. In fact, I've got like 20 virtual. I might buy. I like it. I will tell you, I'm probably saving most of my virtual to buy back into Preddy. And I want to buy some more Vader. I got a really good feeling about what Vader's got coming. Oh, no shit. They tweeted it and then deleted it. So one of these might be real. Okay, keep me updated on that, guys. I want to run through our intro and quick market stuff, and then kind of quickly to flagship here. But yeah, keep me posted as soon as like the real one goes live. I want to be right on that. Guys, smash the like on the show and subscribe over on YouTube, man. We got some more. We just got great guests coming up. Yesterday was awesome. I really like that Hollywood team. I'm so impressed with the people building in this ecosystem. Like we got some great people in virtuals and on base and building in AI and just like great people, great teams who are building really great products. Oh shit. All right, I can't copy that, but it looks like Moit got the CA, the real one. Hang on. Mufasa, I kind of live in that headspace. There's a lot of stuff that's samey, but I'm also looking for the samey stuff and see who separates there, until we get like the product. Because one of these things, like one of these deep AI kind of products or trading tools, will become like the thing. You know what I mean? So I'm watching for that. And that's why I'll make gambles on all of them. And the flagship team seems like really legit. So the one that ends in 3-7 is the real one. Is it actually like live here? 3-7. My mouse is so fucked. Hang on. Okay. Well, again, we'll keep our eyes on that. But again, thank you to the Hollywood team for coming on. Just so cool. Real one's 12 mil, so it really is live. Okay. Dude, I kind of want to hop right to this. Hang on. Let's go to deck screener, and then we'll circle back to our normal intro. Cheyenne, I see you over on Spaces. Good to see you, man. All right, base, new pairs, age. Let's go new. Here's FYI. Where's our FTV here? Let's see. That might be the one. Yeah, that I think is actually it. Yeah, I think they launched it right when basically right when Spaces ended, huh? Yeah. Yeah, that's probably it. If that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. 13 mil FTV. Wow, dude, spicy. Yeah, right when Spaces ended, they launched it. Assuming that's the real one again. So what we're hearing is they tweeted it, deleted the tweet. Let me just double check that CA. Is that the one that they? That's different. That's different than the one that you put in the chat, I think. But this looks real. That looks real. Like 0.5 mil in volume and a 14 mil FTV. I think that's it. Wow, dude, spicy. I mean, man, watch this thing. This might be one of our this will be one of our best prototype launches ever. Potentially, it's looking that way. Oh, I get it. They tweeted that holder count. Don't go by that, by the way, Yo-Yo. It's sometimes really slow to update. I wouldn't go by that. It's probably got more than 8. We can go look on chain, right? Okay, so I get it. They tweeted a contract. It was the wrong one. They deleted it. Base. Let's go to base scan. Let's check holders. Dude, I love this stuff, man. I can't wait for virtual season to really heat up, right? Like just right in the action. Okay, yeah, this has got 137 holders. I see 134. Yeah, this seems legit. Yeah, it's tricky when you use deck screener. These tools, they're kind of hard to rely on, Just know you're not. Yeah, I know. Whatever. Cheyenne not getting in now at 13. I feel you. I feel you, man. Oh shit. Let me tag Lurky here. But dude, 15 mil, 15.5 mil FDV. And this might hold really well. I don't know what kind of token supply is out in traders' hands. They're doing the air drip, not airdrop, remember. So I don't know if there's a ton of supply out there. Cats would know this, but I don't know if there's a ton of supply out there for people to even dump. I like it. I like it. And if this does what it's looking like it's going to do, man, game on for prototype launches. Okay, now they tweeted the CA. Let's go peek at their account. Dude, how spicy. Look at this thing. 17.5 mil. There we go. DAB. Yep, that is definitely the right one. I'll tell you, I still like, what was it? Trust, that Trust bot thing Cats uses works great if you want to find CA early. And I have good luck then just sitting on Deck Screener and filtering newest, and you can kind of tell which is real and not. It was tricky on the Pock one, maybe. Yeah, very low float. Okay, so there's not much token out there. There's going to be very little sell pressure on this, which is pretty awesome. Yo, how this drop worked. I mean, I can give you the TLDR, but prototype launches in. They just do it like, think of Pump Fun, launch the token, right? Now they snipe it right at the beginning. Who got in at 10 to 100K? Right, the team there. They can buy as soon as they launch. They can buy. And I don't know if when you launch the token on virtuals, if you can specify how much token you're holding back. Not totally sure, but if not, then it's them sniping at the get-go, which they said they're going to do, and that's what all these prototype teams are doing. Launch, buy up all those tokens right out of the gates. And we talked about this over the past couple of weeks. We used to really frown on that kind of thing, right? We used to call that kind of thing dirty. Not anymore. I think we've learned that teams have to do it. It's not dirty. It's playing by the rules of, the blockchain. And I think it's totally fair. But dude, do we see this thing live up at, I don't know, 20, 30 mil? Is that possible? Do we see things like ring fence reprice and things like mute reprice? Do we start seeing them reprice here? But this has more to do with how few tokens are out there to even be sold. And further on, yeah, this is the real CA. I'm going to drop it in the chat again. It's up there too. Thank you guys for dropping that before. Yeah, so that's the real one. And here, let's peek over here again. Should be trending, I'm guessing. No, they got fake ones trending here. But I mean, dude, we can just we can sort by FDV and it should be pretty high here. Hang on. If I'm smart enough to do this. Let's see. Welp. Too new? I could probably just paste in the CA here. But this is great. Yeah, no, Yo-Yo, that's exactly it. No, that's exactly right. They launched it. They used their own money. They buy the token. Yep. Yeah, you totally get it. That's exactly what happened. Yep. And again, all the prototype launches that are coming out now, exactly, what they're all doing. There's there's just a game here. There's a game here. I always refer back to the Trump token and that thing hitting, of course it's Trump and it gets all the, so much attention, but that Trump token, the tokenomics, the supply was a big part of why it was valued so high too, right? So yeah. I like it. We're almost at a 20 mil FTV here, and it could really hold that. Be a great story. It's a great story for the space. Teams will look at that and be like, okay, maybe I'll come launch over here. Some people are going to look at it and not really understand exactly the how and the why of the price action, and they're like, okay, no, I'll play in that ecosystem. I dig it. It's a good look for us. All right, we'll circle back to this. If you see this, I mean, either way, keep me updated on this in the chat. If we rip to, I don't know, 30, if we dump to 10, whatever, keep me updated on this and we'll keep coming back. But spicy launch and congrats to the flagship team. Fucking love it. Man, it's so good. All right, coming up this week, and by the way, make sure you're following me. Keep up on our guests coming on the show this week. I'll be tweeting these out starting today, but follow me at Hudah_idiot on X. Of course, follow the Swarm_AI. And let's see. Home, I don't know if there's there's no right answer or wrong answer. People have opinions on it. I don't think like the Trump team held a ridiculous amount, and it was fine. I say this: a good team holding a huge chunk of the supply, like a huge chunk, 80%, again, maybe frowned on, but a good team that knows what to do with that can use it to help control price is awesome, right? They can kind of use it to protect, protect the holders. Yeah, we don't know what that one is yet, right? What got tweeted out there. That's tricky, man. That's tricky. Cat's actually part of our announcements going out. Cats will be on Friday, which would be sweet. Yeah, Trump had 80% or so, right? Yeah, crazy. Okay, coming on the show tomorrow. Can't wait for this. We'll talk about it today when we get to the Genesis launches, but PharmaChain AI coming on the show tomorrow, along with Adam coming back on. So tomorrow's going to be awesome. Can't wait. There's some decent launches coming up on Genesis. And that prototyper, man, cooking. Genesis are not done. And I got some thoughts on this. Share it when we get to the Genesis stuff. And, again, we'll have the team on tomorrow, but PharmaChain tomorrow with Adam should be awesome. Can't wait. Next Monday, Finny AI coming on the show. Again, that'll be on Monday. Think this one will do pretty decent too. Looking forward to both of those. Chatting with, dude, I've been trying to get this one lined up since they were announced, guys. Solace, you guys remember Solace has been out for a while now. Going to be the head of the wellness cluster. Chatting with them. We don't have a date picked out. In fact, dates that are being thrown around, it's probably going to be a weekend show. We'll probably be doing a weekend stream with Solace. Might even be like next weekend. I'll keep you posted there. But yeah, Solace, I think, is coming on the show. Can't wait for that. And then Thursday, like I keep saying, I'm not announcing it yet. I don't feel 100% like this is locked in, even though it's a yes and it's on our calendar. We just don't have, we're not exchanging messages like I do with some of these teams. But virtuals, we've got John, the head of the ACP with virtuals. I think coming on the show Thursday. So when I get that locked in, reconfirmed, we'll tweet that out. I definitely want to get some hype going for that, but that should be awesome. I really hope that ends up happening. Will be huge. Okay, so stay tuned for that. And then look, I'm not going to promote my own separate things, but I did want to make sure to bring this up to like set some lines here, right? Which is, guys, I'm going to start hosting quant.fun's weekly spaces. I love those guys, right? They've been on the show a couple times. They're different. They're just different. I like where their headspace is at, and I like them being, not playing funny numbers games. Some people do that. It's kind of normal in crypto. You just kind of inflate everything and super hype it up and all that. And these guys don't do that, and I respect the shit out of that. Like, I really do. So I like them a lot. I like the guys. I like what they're building. I like the team. I can get a sense of that direction they're going. So starting this Friday, I'm hosting their space. But what I wanted to say here is it's not a CryptoSlam or Swarm thing. Yes, you'll see me hosting it, but it's not really, it's no whatever. It's not a, endorsement, whatever from the CryptoSlam side. That is just me personal, liking those guys, excited to work with them a little bit. So if you want to follow along that, just follow my account here. But again, not a CryptoSlam thing. I want to make sure that's super, super clear. Although I'm sure there's something cool we do together. Actually, I think we're chatting with them anyways. But and a reminder, I guess, here too, I can't get it to load, but our chirp campaign is still live with Arbus, so get chatty. I think they blew me out of the leaderboard, which is great. I think I was holding down that number one spot, and I should not be on there. So I think I'm gone. You guys can go eat. But I think we're in week 2, I think we're 2 weeks deep. But yeah, get chatty about Swarm, and we're dropping tokens, and we're using Wallet DNA to do that. And it's really cool. Really cool. Some great tweets out there. And then last thing, guys, if you're a little iffy and not so sure about Flagship and just want to know more, Cats put out an awesome thread last night. Awesome. I mean, disgusting thread, but awesome thread. Dude, I know how much work goes into something like that. So GG's to Cats. It's a really good thread. So peek at that if you want to learn more. There we go. All right, let's look at the market here. I'm actually going to start looking at the more macro market. It's I don't know, dude. What do we even call it? It's not fun right now, but whatever. It doesn't have to be fun. You expect these kind of pullbacks here. And look, virtual stuff is not going to send until the market's back on track here. But here we are right now. Bitcoin at 110. 110, we're all so fuddy. At least you see a lot of FUD out there. And Bitcoin's at 110K. Sorry, but I think this market's looking great. ETH at 44, almost 4,500. Ripple 291. Solana 189. These are like, dude, Sol being around $200 is like a monumental thing. And again, it feels fuddy out there. I'm sorry. I look at these prices. I'm pretty excited about what's coming. And just so you know what's coming here, Congress is back in session next week, starting next Tuesday, which means that talk about the Clarity Act is going to start ramping up. It's expected to be voted on and probably passed in September as well. So things are going to get spicy pretty darn quickly here. And this just caught my eye. I have to mention it. The conversation around stable coins is also going to be heating up. And look, that's just bringing more money on chain. Doesn't mean into our bags, but like I say, a percent of the people, a very small percent of the people who get into crypto via just holding stable coins, and then they want to go investigate and learn more. And some of them are coming. But I saw a really interesting article here. The U.S. banks are look, they're trying to fight the Genius Act, a provision in the Genius Act, at least, which basically is, look, banks can offer stable coins now, but they can't give you interest on it. They can't. But crypto exchanges and platforms kind of can. They can give you rewards. And the banks don't think that's fair. And they're worried that they're going to see trillions, guys, leave the banks, leave the banking system, and come into crypto. And it's probably going to happen. It's probably exactly what's going to happen. So, like, expect to see a lot more about that. Super spicy. Dude, shit is escalating quickly. And I think that really starts ramping up like next week. It's going to get fun. All right, let's kill some of those tabs. My browser's struggling here. And over to the AI market. Here we are at 11.6 bill market cap, down 2.24% in the past 24 hours. It's okay. It's okay. Your top agents by market cap, it's USDT on top, followed by Fartcoin, Rect, Toshi, and Turbo. Over on the infrastructure side, it's FET, Virtual, DCAI, IOTX, and Alt. And I think I'm curious when we switch to DeFi here. Hoods, there you go. Wait, Hoods, what'd you buy? Got a whopping 2.19 virtual locked in. Did you buy something? And there, Mufasa, exchanges are trying to get bank charter so they'll be able to abide, so they'll have to abide by current banking laws. And then there's the ones that aren't going to do that, it's going to get really interesting here. That's one of those things, Mufasa, that might take your people, your millions of people who are not in crypto yet, right? But they start getting stable coins and they start realizing, oh, well, I can leave my stable coins in my bank and earn nothing off of it. Or I can just transfer it here with a click of a button and start earning, 5%, whatever, right? It's going to get interesting here. It's a really good point, though. DeFi, Cortex on top, guys, almost a 200 mil market cap for Cortex now. Starting to look interesting over here. Venice, Banker, AI Tech, and Olas behind them. But yeah, stuff's changing. Love it. All right, we'll put them all together. Take a peek at Mindshare. It's Banker on top, then Fartcoin, Cookie, Open Ledger, and Rect. Good stuff. Your top movers here in the virtuals ecosystem in the past 24 hours. 1000X, your top gainer, up 123%. Followed by Robot, Bios, Spread, and then Sniper Search. Dude, remember last week before? Do you remember Cats, I might bring you up. Hang on. No, I probably will. A week or two ago, it was all these tiny, tiny little micro cap tokens that were the top gainers, right? They were going from 100K to 2, 3, 4, 500K. Little different right now. Your top gainers are already sitting here at 5.5 mil, 4 mil, 5 mil. Couple smaller ones, right? But starting to change. Starting to change. And then your top losers, it's Turtle, Aegon. We'll look at that. That's a spicy one. Again, another sign of how this space, virtuals, is kind of evolving right now. Lucian, SPYAI, and Dobie. I dig it. Before we get to Genesis stuff, I'm going to blitz through these top stories. I'm going to bring Cats up, get some feedback on the flagship launch. But I mentioned this yesterday. I want to make sure we get to talk about it for a minute here. So, right, I was going to do my proposal proposing that Virtuals uses wallet DNA to change up some rules with the, selling of your airdrops, right? Which I thought they needed. Still think they could use it and it'd be a better system. So maybe I'll still do that. But I don't have to. I don't have to because they're listening and they change the airdrop penalties all on their own. And so again, this is a couple days old now, but TLDR, guys, if you sell your airdrops you get from being a virtual staker, well, you'd still get hit with a penalty, but it's way less. It's way less. Okay, so if you sell your airdrop, you're now penalized on the next airdrop and the next airdrop and the next airdrop. So the next 3 airdrops, but after that, you're good. After that, you're good. If you keep selling, though, they just keep stacking, after it. So if you sell another airdrop, you get a bigger penalty, a longer penalty. And I almost wonder if it stacks too. Okay, so this is the part I'm not totally clear. And Cass, maybe we'll chat about this when you come up. The way they word it here, if you sell, I don't know if you're completely disqualified or if it's your airdrop's going to be less. And if you sell another airdrop, it's even less, right? I don't know if it's you're cut off for the next 3 drops or if it's you get half. That I'm not totally clear on from this. I just got to read it a few more times maybe, but no permanent restrictions or bans. Once the 3-cycle penalty is completed, full eligibility is automatically restored. I love it. I love it. Why not? Right? Because we're not talking about a lot of money here, first off. I mean, hell. Oh, by the way, I'm peeking at flagship 27 mil FDV. That's ridiculous. We haven't seen that in a long time. I mean, kinda ever. I mean, we've got some stuff that at this point sitting at really, really high FDVs, but I don't think we've seen a launch live that we're watching that's done this. That's crazy. It's a good look. Again, I wonder if some of these other tokens start repricing, but that is still, it has more to do with tokenomics. Back to the airdrop penalty though. Again, I like it because look at the airdrops we're getting. I love them, by the way. Hoods, that would be sweet. I like it. Hood's asking for an art and music show or space. Dude, we did our art focused. We did the when Jay Squiggle would come on, we do art, but I need to fold that back into it. Still, I missed that stuff. Need to do it. But yeah, looking at these airdrops, look $1.50, $1 worth, $1 worth of Shoe Me, $2 worth of Pock. It's awesome. No complaints about free tokens, but I didn't love the idea if you sell your $2 worth of Pock, you're out. No more airdrops, right? Well, now I can sell it and get 1.5 virtual, which on some of these Genesis drops is all I'm committing, right? Some of these Genesis drops I'm committing 1 virtual or half a virtual or 3. It's not much. So being able to sell these keeps a lot of people actually still in the game and still playing. And so it does matter. So I like the new change. I like it. Now I'll probably claim all these and sell them all at once when it's worth a couple $100. And yeah, I'll be penalized for, days, but I like at least having, the options here. I like having that flexibility. Gokumoria, here we go. For clarification, any extra selling is adding 1 more to the chain. But if you sell 1 airdrop, ban for the next 3. See, that's weird. And that's how it reads then. That makes sense. If you sell 1 more, then the next 4. So it's not okay, if you sell 1, you're penalized for the next 3. If you sell 2, it's not you're penalized for 6, right? They only add 1 more day on for each. Is that correct? So if you sell 1, you're penalized for the next 3 drops. You sell the second, it only goes to 4. If you sell another, it goes to 5. It's not 3 for each airdrop. It's interesting. I like it. So it's almost less. And if I'm thinking of it the right way, it's less of a penalty the more you sell. That actually seems kind of backwards. That's kind of backwards, isn't it? I would almost think the first sell should be penalized less, and the more you sell, heftier penalty, right? Wouldn't that make more sense? For me, that makes, I don't know. For me, that makes way more sense. But either way, I like that they addressed it. I like it. I like it. Whatever they do here, whatever the rules, just know they change them a lot too. What's up, cutie? They change it a lot, but man, I like it. Just give people some choices and let people stay a little liquid here. So I dig it. Virtual's also tweeting out. And I'm reading a bit more into this. Just a heads up, but tweeted out that they're deepening their commitment to support ecosystem builders and virgins, creating products at the infrastructure level So they're saying it could be like APIs, point systems, staking contracts, amplification mechanisms. So I start thinking, oh, they're talking about Amplify and Arbus, and they're talking about, you know, products that let you stake and do things over in their ecosystems and point systems. And I'm thinking maybe Swarm needs to build out like a point system using DNA. I still think we can help a lot in the virtuals ecosystem. But really interesting stuff there, including like Nick replying. I don't love this. Nick's reply I do like, but I don't love Nick's messaging, and I get how it happens. But Nick's saying, look, he built this Discord. He got a great Discord, by the way. If you're not in it, you should be. Got 3,000 people in there, lots of devs in there. Devs share their work and do workshops and streams, and it's like a great spot. But I guess they told Nick at one point, hey, anybody you onboard to virtuals and bring them like to launch on virtuals will give you 20,000 virtual. 20,000 virtual per team, which is a lot. It's a lot. But look, they said it. So, you know, there you go. They gave him wait, am I reading right? They gave him, I think he said, yeah, 3,000 virtual they gave him. He brought ERM Labs over. Did not get 20K. And he didn't get anything after that, even though he's worked with like, he's saying 50-ish teams. Oh, dude. Oh, I missed those. I was just thinking of Q this morning. It's like, dude, I wonder if he's ready to get back in. QD, I peeked at that, by the way, the beamable thing. I didn't claim. I didn't look. I saw it. I should probably dig in. Anyway, like Nick's fucking awesome. Just a heads up. You guys know, but I don't think that's virtuals doing him dirty either. I just think it's like they're too small a team. I think that's what it is. And actually, I think that's what this is addressing. They're too small a team to do everything that we need them to do. And, you know, support the people building out the the ecosystem. That's how virtual scales. I really like it. So I think there's more coming. And then this is what really gets my attention. Saying read between the lines, okay? So like randomly I asked Nick, I'm like, dude, what's Vader doing? Right? I was in a chat and I'm like, I'm looking at AI Rocket, right? I'm looking at the mute drop. I'm looking at what's going on, and I see these prototype launchpad things. I'm like, that's what Vader's doing. It's pretty obvious. I think that too, by the way, guys. I'm pretty sure if I were a betting man, I would bet Vader's doing exactly that, launching going back to being a launchpad. And I think it's going to do really well. And the way Nick replied to me about that, and then looking at this tweet, I'm like, I think there's a lot more. I think Vader is going to have like, they get plenty of virtual support, but I think they're going to get even more. And I don't know what it's going to look like and what exactly that product is going to be, but I think whatever announcement comes from Vader, they emerge from, you know, whatever's going on now, bigger, better, maybe more important to the virtuals ecosystem here with like maybe more funding or backing from virtuals. That's my read on it. So like, I'm still buying Vader. I might actually stake it now. I'd kind of wait. I kind of want to wait to stake right on the Vader platform when they announce whatever, but I think I'm all in on Vader still. In fact, guys, I sold some of my Vader token, not much, but I sold some. And then I kind of quickly, I'm like, hang on a second. Something feels off here. Not bad off, by the way, like good off. And I bought back in. I bought back lower, got more Vader token. And I'm going to keep buying more Vader token. I think something's coming here. The read between the lines. I'm hoping that means Nick's going to get some funding and can build out his stuff. And I think Vader's going to have, again, whatever it is they're doing, I think more of it. So keep the eyes out for that too. Keep watching. QD. You got 1,000 worth? Dude, if I got 1,000 worth of that token, I'm definitely claiming. Yeah, okay. Oh, good shit. All right, QD's going to token 2049. One of these days, guys, we're all meeting up at a conference here. I don't care if it's NFT NYC or if it's like VCon or what. Like we'll get this in one day, which I can't wait. To clarify, the CA they deleted was the prototype. Okay. Yeah, Hudah was fucking awesome. It's wicked funny. AI Rocket though, guys, like the launch pads, dude. Launch pads are like probably one of the spiciest opportunities right now, dude. I'm not hands-on with any of these yet. I should be. Because I don't know what price you get to buy into at. What's the pre-sale valuation? But like AI Rocket's giving you prototype launches, pre-sale access to them, right? So they did it with Mute. They did it yesterday with Aegon. And Mute cooked, I think Mute's sitting at like a 3 mil FDV. And Aegon sitting where? Somewhat similar. Let's see. 2.24 mil FDV. And again, you're getting pre-sales here. So you're getting your 3Xs, your 4Xs. I think it's exactly what Vader's going to do, but more. I do think Vader's going to be that, but like on steroids. I'm betting on Vader. I want in these pre-sales, man. I know a lot of guys who got into, all these drops and they're cooking. Hey, Carbon, thank you, dude. I like those guys. People are cooking, so keep your eyes on this. Probably worth looking at AI Rocket. Dude, I said even the past couple days, there's another one. There's another launch pad that's coming in the Virtuals ecosystem, and for the life of me, I can't remember the name. I can't find the tweet, but there is another coming, and it's not the Vader one, so that's going to get competitive too. I think whoever wins mindshare is going to be, your leader there. I don't see anybody beating Vader, but AI Rocket maybe establishing themselves as like a real deal player here. Seems like it. Yeah, cool stuff. By the way, that Aegon token, part of this what is it, Jungle Corp ecosystem, kind of like an AI no code gaming ecosystem. I've not totally wrapped my head around it, but I think that's the basic idea here. Yeah, there we go, actually. It's an autonomous agent. It can accept game prompts from humans or agents, plan multi-step game logic, generate NFTs, assets, mechanics, gameplay. You can launch full games in their ecosystem, no code, no devs needed. I like it. And then I use my Spidey sense, right? Like I just use my Spidey sense and I look at it, I'm like, will this matter? Or have we seen a whole bunch of stuff like this? I'm like, kinda, yeah, like we've seen this kind of thing. I don't sense this being any kind of cook, but like could be wrong. So it's worth keeping an eye on here. Goku Moria saying, by the way, just a quick tip for Virgins after the success of FYI. Now it's the Virtuals team turn to make a move. Yes. Yeah, dude. Yes. I love that. Thinks it's going to be a good tug of war between Prototype and Genesis. We win when that happens. You're right, dude. Exactly. Exactly that. Yeah, I'm with you. This is what we were hoping for too, that this season was going to be, okay, Prototype's cooking. You better keep up on the Genesis side. Make it rewarding. I agree, dude. I think we're going to see it get really competitive. All right, let me bring Cats up. I want to get some thoughts on Flagship here. If you're good, Cats, I'll bring you up. If you're not ready yet, then all good. But dude, hard to not see that as like a crazy successful launch here. Let me get back to Flagship here.
I have different thoughts.
Oh, I can't wait to hear. By the way, good morning, buddy. Okay, settling at like an 18 mil FDV right now. Got as high as like close to 29. Dude, like, let's hear it. Lay it on us. Like, what? How do you think Flagship went? And are you disagreeing? You don't think there's going to be a good tug of war between Genesis and Prototype?
Correct.
You think Prototype's going to smash?
Correct. No, not at all.
Really? Okay, let's get in.
Guys,
what do you want to start? What do you want to start with?
Look, we'll start. No, I mean, look, the FYI token launch went beautiful. It's exactly what I expected in all my talks with the teams. And I even had, like, I knew they were going to get 96% of the supply. Like, and I need to explain this to everyone. So they have been around for 3 years building. They have VCs. They have people who bought pre-sales. They have all the farming of the tokens. That's why they have to control the supply, is because they have to have those tokens to carry out the roadmap. Their team lock is 6 months, by the way. So like that portion of the token, like they have all this stuff laid out. So they had to have those tokens to do this. And Ethermage has said this. That's why my opinion is different on the Genesis first prototype. When the new Genesis came out, Ether Mage put out that post, which I included in my big thread about FYI, and said, this is what he's talking about in point 3. And I'm going to read it again, because he says, teams that want to launch at a higher, oh man, I just lost it. Sorry, at a higher market cap because of VC funding, this is how you do it. The prototype mechanism is still available for those teams. It allows the team to buy up the AMM curve to match private fund valuations. 50 to 100 million market cap launches can still be done through that mechanism. So the thing is, most teams right now that are launching on Genesis don't have that level of funding. Flagship had funding. So they literally launched like this because they could afford to. If you're going Genesis, it's more of a startup company that doesn't have that level of funding. So you can't say, oh yeah, it's going to be a tug of war between prototype and Genesis, because that's not true. Like if a team with no funding tries to launch on prototype and they can't bond out their curve, then you're still dependent on us to fund your launch, and we've proven over and over and over again we can't do it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe once we get an actual organic bonded token from prototype from a team that didn't buy up their own curve, then we can have that conversation. But for right now, you see what I'm saying? Like, there's a big difference. Does that make sense?
Oh, it makes a ton of sense. Do you think so we used to think as prototype is the super degen way to launch, right? Do you think that's shifted where it's now Genesis, or like the more degen way to launch? You know what I mean? It's almost like the narrative is flipped. Like, we did used to look at Genesis as this is the official, like, safe, established way you do it. And again, prototype was the more pump funny chaos thing. It's, you know, it's still kind of that, but you know, maybe not if the team's going to hold 80+%.
It's all about knowing the project, right? See, it's still super degen. Like, how many fake flagship tokens just launched? And even they put out the prototype token that they launched for, like, the address wrong, right? Like, it's still super degen. But just like, I mean, Ring Fence just did this first. Ring Fence was the example. And they did that because at the time, the Genesis allocation, they were only getting 50%, and that wasn't enough for their existing community, their existing VCs. Like, Rick talked about that. So if you have a big project, it's not degen, because they literally are going to just buy the token supply when they launch the contract. So it's not really, it's not a bonding curve launch, because nobody's getting in on that. You know, they're launching it to buy their own token supply to carry out their roadmap.
Yeah.
It's still super degen. If like you're trying to get in on a bonding curve, it's no different than pump fun. You know?
Yeah, dude. I'm trying to think if there's any incentive for those, you know, those bigger teams, the funded teams, any reason at all they would launch Genesis now, other than they just want to, like, just full on give to the community, which I could see somebody here and there wanting to do just for the narrative, right? But for the most part, it's prototype, right?
Right. So I asked that very thing when just full transparency, because I've been talking with this team. I've done a lot of research, right? Like, I've really been, you know, I pointed this project out before it came to virtuals. So then once they came to virtuals, I really dug in. But I mean, they were pretty transparent with me. Like, 85% was not enough for them. Like, they needed the supply. They got 96% of the token, put the other 4% to liquidity. And then, like, here's the thing that's going to happen, right? In 2 days, the first airdrop allocations go out. It'll be 10% of each of the farmers' allocations will go out all at once. What's going to happen? I mean, you know, you already know what's going to happen with that 10%, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's going to put more tokens on the market. Price will go down. It'll be a better entry, all that sort of stuff. But all this is really well thought out, and it's executing exactly as they planned it. So that's really bullish. But
dude, it's
yeah. I mean, even the point is, the Genesis launch still, for a really well-funded team who has an established roadmap and needs the tokens, is still not enough. So that's why, and again, that's why Ether Mage said, if you want to come out at a higher market cap, go prototype. I mean, Ether Mage said it.
Man, it's kind of a bummer. Like, it is and it isn't. Like, I still am, like, I say this a lot. I'm just an enjoyer. I'm just, like, kind of along for the ride and through all phases of it. But I'm going to miss, like, the Genesis stuff being, like, the thing. Like, just the thing that you could get really excited that you could hit some like crazy home run. And we know you still can, right? You're especially when the market gets silly. Especially silly time is the best time for Genesis stuff, because we will see stuff that launches there and you get in on the pre-sale and you get your good chunk of tokens and they'll rip to, I mean, shit, dude, we saw plenty rip to 10 mil, 15. Like it's going to happen again. But I wish we were like, I don't know, had that belief conviction right now, like super strongly that it was coming. Like, again, I know it's coming, but it does suck the wind out of the sails a bit on the Genesis stuff. A little bit. Hang on, Gugu Moria's got something. By the way, I put up on the screen, this is totally unrelated, but about the Kanye token. Kanye tweeted out that his Instagram's been hacked and is following a fake coin. I haven't looked. I don't know if he's talking about his Yeezy coin that launched last week, or if he's talking about like maybe legit it's following a fake one, but good Lord, this fucking guy. Okay, I got to save that. All in all, though, flagship, dude, spicy. So you did or did not get in with AI Rocket? Wait, no, they didn't do through AI Rocket. So you could only get in via their community stuff, right? They did like community pre-sale stuff.
I mean, I bought around 18 mil right now. Like, I mean, that's the only way, because my stupid work, like my connection's not working well. Like on a hotspot at work. So I wasn't even able to get in early.
Damn.
But I mean, I was able to farm a few tokens, and so I'll get those and I'll just stake them whenever that comes out in 2 days. But yeah, I mean, I bought a little just because I want to be a part of it. But no, I didn't get in early.
There you go. Well, Goku Moria saying, understands what you're saying. I'm not implying that Sage or Pok team, I'm not implying Sage or Pok team for funding their own project. Okay, he's saying virtual teams should justify to the investors and new teams that Genesis is better for launching the token. I'm waiting for a move from their side. And the current circulation is 15% for both projects. Time will tell. I just want to make sure I pull out the main point here. But just a way, Gokumori, just a way to sweeten the offering or really sell Genesis to those other types of teams. Is that kind of the point there? I think that's it. I think that's it. But again, we're definitely starting to see that separation where there's a different flavor of launch for these different teams. So we'll see how they choose. We'll see.
I think more will have to change. I mean, so again, if you're a funded team, you can still get better results from protocol or prototype. And now with Genesis, you really disincentivize any of the degens. Like points now are not even close to worth it. You know, so the balance is way off now. I think there has to be more changes coming.
Dude, that's it. That's the thing, is Virtuals changes what they're doing so much, dude, so much. I am assuming they're going to tweak it again. I don't know how they're going to tweak it, but I mean, there's a million ways they can do it. I think that's why we don't know how, because there's a million things they can do, but I have a feeling they have to tweak this now to make it sweeter for teams to launch. There's got to be some kind of hybrid. There's got to be some kind of hybrid thing where you launch Genesis and you can still pick some like tier that you want to launch at, not, just like the FDV you're aiming for, but like amount of tokens you can hold back. Like, why wouldn't it work that a team could do a Genesis launch, but like ahead of time, just set that they're keeping 80% of the tokens? Why couldn't that work? Like, is there any reason that couldn't just work? Like, just offer it to Genesis?
I mean, that's up to them. I don't know. I mean, it's their structure. They have to come up with it.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think why that wouldn't have been like the very first thing they thought of. It's like, okay, well, if teams are saying this is the problem and that's why they launched prototype, let's just allow them to do that via Genesis. So they had to know, that's so obvious. There had to be a reason they didn't do that. But why?
So it's interesting. So for me, now they have these 3 tiers, right? But the thing they missed out on is like all these people, like all the virgins had all these points saved up, right? And so we got 2 decent launches. Of course they go sky high, and it only diluted the value on our end more. And then people are just like, well, screw this. So what they miss is like, if you're going to have flexibility, like you're talking about, let the team decide how many tokens they want. Like, and then if you launch through Genesis and they decide they want 96%, and then the virgins aren't getting anything, well, obviously nobody's going to go for that launch. Like, so then it doesn't make sense to do Genesis. If there's more flexibility in allowing the teams to make like, okay, we want 75% instead of the 85%. Okay, well now the Genesis participants are going to like, oh, we're going to get more in this one, so let's go into this one if it's a good project. You know what I'm saying? Like, Right now, it's just a set percent. Like, it's an all or nothing thing. So maybe the actual flexibility they needed instead of FDV levels of tiers was percentages of tokens. What if you were good with maybe you didn't need all the tokens, you wanted to do the 50% like the old Genesis. Maybe you want to go full tier 3, like get 85%. Maybe you want to go in the middle and do 70%. Maybe the level of tokenomics was the tiers they needed instead of the FDV levels.
Yeah, that would make sense. Hey, Whitney, what say you? Welcome, buddy.
Hey, Hudah. Hey, Cats.
I
like listening to the comments on why Prototype versus Genesis and how Genesis can advance. I know the community isn't going to want to hear this, but entitlement programs in crypto don't work. So when you bake in airdrops or things of that nature, it doesn't attract the quality of teams that you're looking for. And I just don't see them being able to revive Genesis in a way that is going to be meaningful. I think it's all going to gravitate to Prototype, which is our thought for launching Prototype originally. Like,
ahead of the curve with that
take.
Well, I mean, the system works. It works. Like, you can try to go and modify it and change it and disrupt it, but it works. And when something works, you're just supposed to double down on it. You're not supposed to find other ways to game a new system. In my opinion, Genesis is purely extractive for everyone. Look at any of the charts. Like, just look at any chart for any Genesis token, and the teams that are going to be able to fight back from those charts, they're gonna have to claw and scrape for every inch that they're able to get. But yeah, prototypes are the way to go. I think that we're going to see more teams launching on virtuals through prototypes. I'm curious. I'm going to be curious to see how things unfold with Base as the Base app goes live, but we'll see.
Well, so does that change like the stuff Katz and I were just talking about? Because you're right. Like, if you launch Genesis, all you're doing is advertising to a project that this many people or this amount of tokens probably going to get dumped on you, and like that's not appealing to a project. If Virtuals updates Genesis where you can really like specify what percent of your supply you want to keep, does that attract those projects then?
No, because you're not able to sell on launch day, and like it's a necessary thing for teams. It's not to say you got to dump on launch day, but there needs to be the ability for teams to pad their treasury, to leverage the high volume in the market on a launch day to fund their business. But yeah, I don't think there's a way because you have to broadcast your locks and everyone just front runs your unlocks, which means that the team is ultimately going to always lose value by going the Genesis route. Even if they're well funded, it's just a non-starter.
Yep. Fair. Katz, go ahead, man.
No, I already forgot now what I was going to say. I think his point's exactly right, though. Like, I don't see the point in any good team, like well-funded team, not right. Like you said, it works. And here's the thing. So, like, if you want to do the airdrops and reward your community, like, I don't know, I haven't got to ask Whitney about this, but I have been telling everybody, like, the air drip that they're doing, that required for months. People have been actively engaging in their app for months, every day, taking agent, doing, and they don't get all this farmed stuff they can dump. They get 10% now in 2 days, but then they have to stay active every week for months to come. They have to stay active in the community if they want the rest of that allocation. And it creates the community. It helps, you're still getting that token out there, but it's slow and steady and controlled. And I just think it's really well thought out versus, like you said, with Genesis, I mean, okay, if we get our big allocation, we can just dump it. Oh, well, we went to jail. Like, it doesn't make sense on the team front.
And the other side of this, Cats, is that if you have like the dripping out of, or air drips, or however it is, it still just incentivizes the wrong kind of behavior. Where we have to get back to with virtuals is, like, if you want a token, you need to buy it from the market. Period. There should not be any other kind of incentives given except for customer acquisition. So I should airdrop tokens when I want you to use a product and convert you to a paying customer so that my business can survive. It's one of the things that generally is broken across crypto, but Genesis and virtuals have pressed the gas, and it's done well for them. But I'd argue that it has not been equally valuable for a lot of the teams.
But dude, are we kind of overthinking all of this? The reason being
Yes.
is like, dude, most of these tokens are not utility tokens, right? And their price doesn't really, it's not correlated to how useful it is and the value of the company. It's just like how much attention they have, how much hype, like the same thing we always have known about these tokens. So to me, Genesis first prototype, it's still the same as far as why a token is worth what it's worth. Prototype happens to be worth more right now in some cases because teams just control and supply. And some guys pointing out too, hang on, Melvin, I got to mute you. We get a ton of feedback. There we go. But some guys are pointing out that maybe incorrect about Genesis first prototype because look at Aristotle, that FACI, whatever token. But like to that point, all the new tokens, all the new Genesis launches look pretty fucking fantastic out of the gates. And the problem is once you get towards that unlock period, they go one direction, and that's down, right? And so that's true. That's what they do. I kind of think a lot of the prototype are going to be the same thing, though, over time. But we'll see. We'll see.
Has anyone tracked real volume?
I don't know.
Like, I mean, my question is like, I mean, obviously, I watched Ring Fence's volume, and I know we weren't using a market maker, right? So, I think that somebody should do a deep dive into volume on projects because I'd be curious to see what's, where the volume is coming from, how it stair steps off after the initial hype of something dies down. I would start looking into all of those things. I have questions, but I just don't have the time to dive into all of that.
Do you want to share any hunches you might have, or just thoughts, like anything deeper? No,
no. Hunches on this kind of stuff are not good to share. Somebody, I mean, I can't say anything definitively. It's all speculation, and I don't feel like being an Alex Jones tinfoil hatter. I think that somebody should just look into it. I could be completely off base. But now with Chavi and with Ring Fence, there's just weird shit that I've seen that doesn't make sense to me, and I haven't spent the time or the resources to properly dive into all of them.
Yeah, maybe we've been on that track a little, and I can't read the blockchain well enough. But you guys remember, like probably, I don't know, 6 weeks ago, we were looking at some tokens and just a lot of really strange like transactions under $1, but like tons of them, hundreds, if not like many, like a lot more. There's stuff we've looked at against super surface level that looked really odd, and we didn't go any further than that. But maybe we need like that TD guy, or we need somebody else to do some digging. It's interesting you bring that up. Melvin, try to jump in now. Let's see if you're good. Melvin, I'm sorry, dude. I don't know why I'm saying Melvin. Nothing. Nope. All right, we don't have Melvin, I don't think. How do you guys think this plays out, or just sit back and watch, right? I'm assuming we're probably on the same page there.
I don't sit back and watch shit. No, we gotta, like, if there's not a way, we gotta make a way, right? I mean, I think any of the businesses here that are building within virtuals right now are trying to figure out what the next moves are.
Am I audible now? Sorry.
There we go, Melvin.
Am I audible? Yeah, cool. Awesome. Sorry, I'm in a better spot right now. But yeah, I've been listening to the conversation as a Genesis team that launched. There are a couple of points that I resonate with that both Whitney made and Hudah made. One of the main things that I feel is that teams that already have a lot of going on, they basically are launching only their AI agent on Genesis. The whole business is not coming on Genesis. That's what I've been seeing. And it's kind of what we did as well. DevDoc is our main business for data collection, AI data collection and stuff. Bernie was just the AI agent that aids in all doing all of that. And that's kind of how we brought it in. So it's not representative of the whole business, to be honest. Second thing is, one thing we realized while doing this after launching on Genesis, we realized we were not really getting a community for our core product because our core product was not degen. It was not a degen product. So Genesis launches target degens. And if you're building a community of degens for a product that is targeting degens, that's a perfect place to launch. Anything else, if your utility is something else as compared to what degens would use, a lot of times after the initial hype, you kind of have to be like, okay, fine, it's decent enough to get the money in or get some hype going. You have the token out. for whatever purpose you have a legit token with a liquidity pool associated with it. Amazing. It's just it's an exercise you go through, and within 1 week you have it. You don't have to go through all the motions of actually doing it yourself. So that's kind of how it helps teams. The third thing I would say is that teams would like to, like Whitney mentioned, your main reason is you need funds. And the fact that you get locked, the tokens get locked, means that teams cannot access their funds either for growth or for funding themselves. So from that point of view, Genesis is not at all useful. Unless you see that the hype that the Genesis launch creates actually brings you users, which is relevant for you, that's the only place it makes sense. I just wanted to cover these 3 points as it was basically unfolding.
Another great points, man. Does that then scare traders off from wanting to jump in the prototype stuff on secondary if they know it's like the team is using that for funding? It's normal,
I honestly don't see why it should scare them off, because if a good trader is doing their due diligence and figures out the team is good, then might as well stay logged in, right? Because if you're thinking about it as an investment raising vehicle, of course, there is some amount of tokens that need to go out for the treasury so the team can fund themselves. So that from whatever valuation it is at right now, it should go to 100x or 1000x from there, because the team is able to build a product and bring in revenue. Now, if the traders are not believing in that thesis and they just have to punt, then of course it will. But my point is, we're better off without them, honestly.
Yeah, great points all around, honestly. It's one of the common things I'm hearing throughout is like teams need funding, like really. And that's a big reason they're launching tokens, a big part of it at least. And I don't know, Genesis ain't working for that, it doesn't seem right now.
Well, so let's talk about alternatives, right? So I'm going to just be super transparent, and I know people are going to listen to this, and that's fine. If you have $200,000 or $300,000, you can do a bundle launch on Solana, right? Not saying it's ethical. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying the facts. You can do a bundle launch on Solana. Your token is immediately going to be liquid. You're going to have a ton of attention on there, even if you just have a very basic Twitter presence. And legitimate or not, you're going to be able to pull hundreds of thousands, potentially more, out of that launch, as long as there is just any small amount of attention. That's why people go that route. I mean, people go that route because they are able to take money off the table when they launch a token. I don't think it's right the way that it's done on Solana. I think it could be improved elsewhere. But the key mechanic of the team controlling the supply and the team being able to fund the business, those have to remain in place. Likely what's going to happen is we're just going to see a gravitation back to traditional ICOs, the way that they were in 2017. And I think that was the most perfect system that crypto has ever had. And it's very likely that we're just going to gravitate back towards that, but with regulatory clarity. So there was an interview that Hester Peirce did yesterday, the day before, with Blockworks, where she talked about this. I think we're going to see legitimate ICO platforms for unaccredited investors in the next couple of years.
Dude, would love that. Funny enough, I was going to say I wouldn't hate if we went back to that. I wouldn't hate it at all. In fact, probably it makes sense we go back that way, and it's probably better for the space. At least people would understand what they're doing here. You know, back to, again, I think a lot of these tokens aren't, there's not utility, they're attention tokens. Even if there's some form of utility, well, then if there is, I think then part of what we're seeing is just these things being valued maybe more realistically. So
do you think that with stablecoins, rise that we're going to need utility tokens?
Nope. No, and with they go stable coins, it absolutely does. You use a product via stable coins, and you have fun with a meme coin attached to the project, right? If they even want to do that, absolutely that. And I think half of what the problem is here is everybody just maybe not fully grasping that what we're doing is like kind of silly. Like we're just shoehorning in something and trying to make it work, and it probably is never going to. And by the way, I hope it never stops. I think this stuff is super fun, but people need to understand all we've done is monetize attention. And that is fun and it's useful and it's all we like to gamble, but that is all this is for the most part. Yeah, we just got to be more honest with it, I think.
So Hudah, is Zora the final form of token launches then? Is that what I'm hearing? Zora is it?
It might be closer than people realize, right? Even if that's not it, the final version, it's closer to that. It's just about attention. That's it. It's that simple. What, do you think so too? I think we're probably on a closer pace.
I agree with it. Bernie was launched with the sole purpose of the attention grabbing thing, and we're leaning into it, honestly.
I love that, dude. I fucking love that. Again, if people can just be like at peace with that and maybe stop pretending that it's more. And sometimes it is more. Sometimes it's a little more because there is a little utility for it. But does that mean the thing should be worth $50 million, have a $50 million FTV? Probably not. But also whatever, if it does great, like it's just have fun with it.
Here's what we're doing with Bernie is like, let's just get revenue in and make the case for that 50 million valuation. And that's kind of what we're doing.
I like it. Being real about it. I like it. I dig it, guys. I don't know. I think if anything, we're doing some like soul searching live here on the Genesis platform and the prototype stuff. We're doing it in the virtuals ecosystem, and it's good. Just having these conversations is really, really good and healthy. I wonder if the market picks back up in time where it won't matter. And we're right back to where we were and speculating on which is the better play, Genesis or prototype. And I kind of think that's what's going to happen, right? That nothing comes out of this. The market just starts getting hot again and it won't matter. But, when the bear market comes, these are the exact kind of conversations we start having again and start questioning how real these things are and how much they matter. And for what it's worth, I think the attention matters a lot, and it's worth doing all of this.
Yes. I mean, I think that's one of our advisors definitely told us is that one of the ways to do a crypto product is to make sure you have the attention game nailed down. If you don't have the attention game done, then no matter how good your product is, the chances of success are going to be low because there are people who know well how to get attention but have no ability to build product, and they're going to take away the attention from you. Right. So if you are a legitimate product, the attention game, mastering it is table stakes right now. Right. And being a part of that attention game is necessary, honestly, no matter what product you're building.
Very right. Very right. People ask me, and, for whatever reason, sometimes people will run their projects by me, and I'm like, it's neat. I like the idea. I hear lots of neat ideas here, but I'm like, great idea with shit marketing. It's going nowhere usually, and shit idea with awesome marketing might actually cook. I'm like, probably 95% of your attention needs to be on the marketing, and it's a bummer, and also it is what it is. But because you build a great product, hopefully then you find your way into some attention. But yeah, dude, it just matters so much, and it's what tokens can be great for, is just getting that attention. So
okay.
Well, if you play it right, then you can use. I mean, we view the token as a product. So it has its own P&L, it generates revenue, it gets its own marketing expenses. It's a product. It is our Web3 product. Everything else that we are building is Web3 enabled, focus on Web2 users, because Web3 users don't spend money on products, generally speaking. So I think that this is how teams could approach it if they don't want to take just an all-out meme approach to their token, just by productizing it. But it's tricky.
Well, dude, let me ask though. Okay, if the token is your product, like, how do you what is the definition of that product? Like, what is it?
It's a token. I mean, we're not overcomplicated. It's a token, right? It's launched with a token tax. That tax is revenue to our business. We have to market on Arbis or Amplify or X or wherever. So that's an expense of that particular product line. And we'll continue to grow the ways that we draw attention to the product through buyback and burns, through different integrations and partnerships. But it will be very distinctly focused on Web3 stuff, because there's no room for the Web3 world in Web2 marketing, and there's no interest in Web2 quality products in Web3. So you have to essentially separate them.
I agree with this.
If you want to survive.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man, awesome takes all around with this too. Again, I think these kind of conversations need to happen more, like a lot more. And I think more teams should be a lot more open, transparent with it. I don't think they're not exactly, but I don't know. Maybe I'm hearing a little more realness than I'm used to. So I dig it. Any final thoughts, guys, on, I don't know, I guess just anything today, FYI and Genesis prototype stuff? Cool.
You're the best, dude.
Oh no, back at you, dude. I tell everybody we got this little bromance thing brewing. I dig it. But no, Whitney, you're awesome, man. And by the way, I'm not going to wrap now. I want to hit a couple of these upcoming Genesis launches. There is some good shit out there, by the way. And God, the tokens are just so fun. So like I said before, this stuff will never end. It won't, by the way, it won't. And I hope it never does. And just interesting point now. It's funny how we do these kind of conversations, especially when the market is kind of like it is now, right? We get real philosophical when the market's shitty. I noticed that in the bear market, we had some deep talks about this stuff too.
That's the stuff that actually goes into the bull market.
Yeah.
Product.
Cheyenne, welcome, buddy.
GM. Yeah, I'll just make a point on the attention game right now. There's kind of is an attention game, but the attention game does not equals token price, right? So across all of base right now, across all of crypto, and maybe even more so on base, it's a pure rotational game, right? Everything, you have attention with a catalyst, but immediately after it's a sell the news thing, right? So whether you're Arrow, Keter, Geezer or Rose, it doesn't matter, right? It's just pumping, and then after that, the chart comes down. And it's not community that's driving this, right? All the community in the world doesn't move the charts. It is really the smart money, and that's how they are playing the game across all sectors, right? And AI is the biggest sector right now for at least the smart traders on base, right? So it is a difficult, choppy time that everyone just needs to expect, right? And I see very, very few projects, very few that are able to kind of keep the money sticky. And one of the latest ones would be ATI, right? ATI, yeah, they are pretty good. Or unless you are like Ask Venice, VVV, you get OXY to throw money at you, stick to it, right? But those are really, really exceptional, right? The less than 0.2% of the all of base, right? So those are my observations looking at the flows.
It's a good take and spot on with all of that. Okay, now I'm just thinking of something else. It's all about attention, it's all about hype, and either side that you launch on, Genesis or Prototype, it's a game anyways. They just each have their own rules. Why would we not expect the Genesis stuff gets gamed again in a way that makes it exciting? Again, it's all a game. They're all these like arbitrary rules. They just are. So like I'm kind of here with Gokumoria. I'm kind of there thinking that we're still going to see, Cats too. I think we're going to see that Genesis side get updated and tweaked and made a little more exciting again. Because I mean, the community is the lifeblood of the platform. It is. And if you lose the community here and they don't feel like they have an opportunity or a reason to stay engaged, well, you're kind of fucked. Then you want these great launches to come. They're not going to come if the community's not there to meet them. Go snipe up all your tokens, but if there's nobody that wants to trade your tokens, what good is it, right? I think they're going to have to put some attention back on Genesis. So we'll see. Hoping. Okay. I want to hit then a few Genesis launches coming that I'll just say keep your eyes on. And I'm not going to go deep into them today. Fuck, we might have to. Melvin, I got to mute you again. I'm sorry, buddy. Just a lot of feedback. You're all good. And I'm not going to go into these actually with any depth right now, just because timing. I got a meeting to get to, and it's newsletter day. Damn, dude. But I'm trying to. We may have to get in an extra stream between like today, tomorrow. Actually, maybe even like a tomorrow evening stream, just because there is more to talk about, and we have guests pretty much the rest of the week. But PharmaChain on the show tomorrow. Interesting product, TLDR. It's kind of keeping track of inventory of pharmaceuticals, of drugs at local pharmacies. I think this is in Africa too. I got to double check, but I think so. But interesting idea that brings it out of our little echo chamber, has some actual utility. How much? I don't know. And this is going back to what's the value of a token, right? It's just attention. When you start talking about like, what's it worth because of the utility, it's, most of these probably pretty damn low. And that's one I would say the same thing. I would also argue with that one. I'm probably going to pledge points, by the way, just for fun, just to participate. But like, when you start having an idea of what a product is, like the more you can wrap your head around it, usually that means like the less the token is worth. I mean, just kind of how it works. And the flip side's true. Like the less you understand and the more complicated and the more like fantastic it sounds, usually higher a token price is worth. It's just how it works. And that's when you can really wrap your head around. You can understand the utility for it. And so, like, I don't think we're looking at a major cook there, but it's something that I want to support because I like seeing people try stuff and building. And so PharmaChain, I think, is interesting. UniAI or UniAI, I was not thinking super highly of this one. Didn't think much of it, but I did hear Will talking about it and saying he had some, like, he was talking to the team and knew a little more of what they were cooking, and he is a little more bullish on it. He wasn't like giga bullish on this thing, but that he likes it makes me instantly like it, right? And this is why knowing people and what they like matters. So UniAI is definitely something to be worth watching now. Spasm, similar thing too. This is like a decentralized social media thing. I think it's a way to be like autonomously post to multiple accounts and giving your AI agents access to these accounts too. And letting it post across the board on all these platforms. Interesting. I don't think we're looking at any cooks here, but the next three coming up are the three that I actually think are decent out of everything on the board. And then the same with next, I think it's a Tuesday launch next week, but Finey AI or Finny AI. So again, they're on the show Monday. I think this one looks really interesting. It's a DeFi type platform. I dig it. I'm at the very least looking forward to chatting with them and hearing what might be like different, unique about that platform. And then look, dude, I start scrolling out over the next few weeks. There's nothing. There's just nothing here that I think is new or interesting or even going to complete. Yeah, so I don't know. Not a lot coming up on the Genesis side. We'll wait for some splashy stuff on the prototype side. When we get news about what Vader is doing is when I'm wondering if maybe some of these launch pads have projects lined up. Right? They just got them lined up, and when these projects reveal their launchpad mechanics and how you can get into the pre-sales and shit, we get some hype over there. That's kind of what I'm thinking. It's a guess, but there we go. Oh, and then just looking at failed, I can't get the sorting on this page right. Yeah, we need some love on the virtual site. But I noticed, and this has been there a few days, but that Rogan project didn't even complete. That's one that I thought would actually at least make it, would hit, lowest tier. Actually, if this was even Genesis 2, was it? But it didn't. Doesn't matter either way. It didn't. So there we go. I think we will wrap there. I actually had more to get to, but we got to wrap this thing up. Okay. So yeah. Any last thoughts there? Yeah.
I was just going to give you so you were asking about the AI rocket launch. It was a 1.6 mil FDB that it launched at.
Oh, so that's the pre-sale you buy in at?
Yeah, they do it. It's essentially 5 times the fundraise is the FDV it launches at. The fundraise was supposed to be 300K. It got overfunded on the site, so they went ahead and honored that, and then it came out as a 1.6 mil FDV allocation.
And then just because I'm not super smart with like tokenomics stuff, does that mean if you got in on the pre-sale, you were buying it at that 1.6 mil like valuation? Yes. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Which means then, like, if Vader does come out and does this, launch pad again, and if they start offering, maybe closer to what Virtuals was doing, with Genesis, then, Vader's then really, really spicy again. So again, I don't know tokenomics wise if that makes sense and can work, but maybe that's the biggest thing on the horizon for us, by the way, I think, is what the hell is Vader doing? And we know their ACP cluster is still happening. We think, I mean, we're in it. I think it's still happening. But whatever their announcement is, the next splashy thing. So all eyes are out for that. Guys, make sure you subscribe over on the CryptoSlam account on YouTube. We got these guests all week long. Like, cross your fingers, man. I really hope Thursday works out. Again, Dawn from the Virtuals ACP, head of the ACP. I think it's happening. I'll let you know for sure. And then our boy Kat's live on video with us on Friday. Can't wait for that, dude. So that'll be fun. We got some fun stuff coming. You guys have a fantastic freaking day. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning. Peace, buddies. Guy, bye.
Bye-bye.